Hello, preppers. Debt. This is one of the biggest things that worries me, even compared to like war with Russia, which, definitely has me concerned. But debt is a huge thing because when it comes to the government just ridiculously overspending, it's kind of like a kid in a candy shop. Go to town, my friend. That's what some politicians think. Most politicians think is I'll go ahead and just spend all the money I want to on things. And if there's not enough money, well, that's okay. We'll go ahead and just print more. And when this happens, it leads us into a hyperinflation situation. We are not in hyperinflation yet. I've had people say we were. You don't understand hyperinflation. Hyperinflation, where basically right now we have inflation where your dollar loaf of bread may be costing $2 now or $3. But hyperinflation, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million just for a loaf of bread. And this happens because the currency devalues. And how does it happen? First thing is the government just has big spending, blows money like it's going out of style, prints more of it, and it sets up a situation where the money becomes worthless, practically speaking. And I always say, by the way, always have tangible items in your hand to be able to trade and barter in case that day comes, because there's nothing better than having like actual things you can physically give someone to trade for food or whatever the case may be. But I want to show you just a couple quick articles that came across this whole thing. All this came from the same newspaper, the Washington Times, which I love that paper. 3 things Congress must do to curb our nation's spiraling debt crisis. And the thing it says right there, within a decade, interest cost on our debt will more than triple. And that's what we're talking about is, I don't know about you, but when it comes to trying to understand interest rates, and I know a lot of people flat out won't do credit cards, and I'm with you, but we have credit cards and each month we pay them off so we can actually get points and actually works in our favor. But if you ever have a credit card and you actually don't pay it off each month, you pay the minimum of like $30 or $35, then the interest is going to add on to it. Then you spend more money on the credit card and interest adds on to it, and you max out that credit card so you get a second credit card. And next thing you know, you're completely drowning in interest. And that article is simply saying that the interest on the debt will triple within a decade. And a decade seems like a long way off, but here's the thing. I think a decade is actually being generous. By the way the government is just blowing money right now, I don't think we're looking at a decade at all. I think we're looking at, I'll be honest with you, by next year it very well may hit. Another article, again from the same newspaper, inside the Beltway articles, the drunken spending spree, how Republican whip Steve Scalise offers a tidy summary of what the nation and the nation's pocketbook is facing the day and age. And it says we have to get away from big spending bills. And that's exactly it, big spending bills. They just have these massive spending bills. So let's go ahead and go to this last article. And it says right here, good old AOC looking at this saying, I don't understand. So this is taxpayers prop up union pension. This one blows my mind. Biden will announce Thursday that he's spending $36 billion of taxpayer money to bail out a troubled Teamsters union pension plan projected to run out of money in 2025. This bill that actually went through was $1.9 trillion. 1.9 trillion, fathom that, $1 trillion bill for COVID relief. And obviously, this basically proves my point. Let's push through a $1.9 trillion of COVID relief. Hey guys, this is for COVID. And here he is spending how many million or billion, whatever, into basically paying off some unions. And I say paying off because if you've seen the news, Biden very quickly, and I bet they hate him for this, blocked the unions from making it so they can't strike for the railroads. We've talked about this. And where Biden and the Democrats are typically big union people, guaranteed that he really ticked off some union people. So guess what? Now, here's some union money. Go ahead and this will hold you guys over. It's not about paying off the unions, which is happening. It's about understanding that this $1.9 trillion bill going through for COVID relief, what does that have to do with the union? What does it have to do with a lot of the garbage in there? Everything has one thing in common. Let's blow money because it's a kid in a candy shop. Let's blow money so it'll crash our system. And I believe that's their ultimate goal. They want to take it into, for example, like pre-Nazi Germany, where money becomes worthless because when people get in a desperate situation, they are more than happy to vote into people for extreme power instead of a representative that basically is supposed to do what our will is as far as the people, we the people. So let's go ahead and create a huge catastrophe, crash the system, crash economically so the people will beg you, please, we'll give you more power. So now, oh boy, that was pretty bold, wasn't it? We'll give you more power. So now you can go ahead and do what you need to. So go ahead and take all the money you want to, is what people are, or what the government's saying. We'll take all the money, we'll just blow it on whatever. This, you can see this really chaps my hide. But anyways, some things coming up. So guys, keep prepping, because this is a very, very scary situation. And it's not just the Nazis, but it's happened all over the globe recently as far as economics crashing. And like I said before, we're actually at the very least heading for a Great Depression again, a greater depression. But hyperinflation is probably on the horizon too.